All right, bro, check this out. What do you got? What do you
I
got?
want to start with this one because it's super
Oh yeah.
overused, and then I think it's being underused because it was overused too much.
Okay.
And this goes back. Check out our grind my gears to Star Wars. Probably goes back a bit before it, but super's got overused after that, which
Okay.
is the secret relative trope, where magically this is a red flag one. If I can find a red flag, I'll put it up somewhere.
We
Uh,
can find one. We can Photoshop one.
we
Just a
can do
little
it.
red flag.
We're doing it. Do you see the red flag somewhere? That's where it is.
Future me is so good at
He
red
is,
flag,
he
putting the
is
red
really
flag
good.
in the video.
Yeah.
So
So there's the I'm your father trope is what I like to call it. It's like the Luke's hanging from the thing. And it was so cool for the people that are old enough to remember that, which is still older than us, by the way. I just want
yes,
everyone to know
we're
that.
not
But
that old, but
we're
we
not
did when
that old.
we watched when we were kids, and we were like,
Yeah. Yeah, we had
yo,
VHSs.
yeah. I actually did.
I did too. Yeah,
I
it's
did.
okay.
They were awesome. The art on them was
Yeah.
awesome.
They were cool. And I liked having my little vehicle, my little car that you put the VHS in. You put it down and it would rewind it.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're
Let's go.
cool. We're cool.
So,
We just lost 15 people. We gained one. Uh,
meow, meow, meow. This is the point in the video where it falls off.
Precipitous. Yeah. All right. We're getting
Sorry,
off
YouTube.
that. But the I'm your father trope, where it's just like out of nowhere, you've decided that the main character and the main bad guy or the hidden bad guy is like related somehow. It could be a brother, it could be a mother, it could be a best friend from school where you're like, I don't know where they went. I've always been looking for Sheila. And that's Sheila's the dark knight that's been chasing you.
Yeah,
I dislike it so much.
I do too.
Because yeah, I'm like it's overdone. It was really cool when it wasn't used a lot and somebody brought it back in a big way. And now everybody's like that impact I want to recreate. And I'm like, you can't now. You got to wait for people to not use it anymore.
You
And
can do reverses on tropes
mm,
as well. You could set up your audience. So again, we're both writers. You could
yeah,
set up your audience for a trope and then do something different, and that can get really clever actually. So you're still using the trope,
yeah,
right? Because you're using it narratively, but then you do something else. Like there's still the effect that wouldn't be there if the trope didn't exist. So you're still
yeah.
using it, but you're using it creatively and throwing things on their head. And so I think that's where we all were with like Ray with Star Wars is we were everyone I've talked to, I've been on the internet as
He's been
well,
there. He's been there.
and I've been on YouTube, and everyone wanted her to be nobody,
Yeah.
because and like if this trope didn't exist, then it'd be like, man, that's boring. There should be some connection there. You're losing an opportunity. But because it was an overused trope, especially at the time,
Especially in the
everyone
same
is
platform.
desperate for it to not be a freaking Skywalker because it's a universe,
Right.
it's galaxies, and everything comes back to these same two or three characters, and it's like
It doesn't make
it
sense.
makes yeah, it makes space feel small, and
Yeah.
that's a loss. And so and then of course she's related to somebody. I don't
Palpatine.
remember,
Yeah, she's
Palpatine
a
maybe.
Palpatine, which you're like, that's still the same 12 people. Side note, I like to call when you take a trope and then you try and put a twist on it.
Okay.
Me and my friends in the film world,
Yeah.
my little film world, we call it Shyamalaning.
Ah,
For
I
M.
like
Night
that.
Shyamalan, 'cause it's a twist. So you just Shyamalan in it.
Yeah,
Shyamalama Bing Bong. Yeah, it's great.
let's do it, man. I,
Yeah.
I, I like that. So, and we should use that. Kind of the tropes fake out the little
Yeah.
head nod.
Hit him with a Shyamalan. What you gonna
What's he gonna do?
what you
I
gonna
like
do?
that one. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
What makes the family member trope work when it works,
Hmm.
and what makes it fail when it fails? And I agree with you that most of the time I hate it, it fails, and I don't like it. And most of the time I see it. Like so, a quick example why you think of the answer, because that's actually not an easy question. We don't actually prepare for these things. We just
Yeah.
throw these things at each other. You're probably good, by the way. But me and my brother are watching like Acolyte. I banged on the Acolyte a couple times, and we're watching episode one. He goes, "Yo, she got a twin, and this is the twin." And I was just like sitting there like this, and we're both sitting there. It's late at night, and I was like, "Yeah, you're a million% right. It is." And I don't even know what signaled it, but I was just like, "Yeah, I know the twin trope," which I guess
Mhm.
that's a different one. Oh, it's a twin.
There. I know,
So you
right?
build a whole movie around it, but it's like you can't fool me. That's a twin right there. I see. It's a
Hmm.
twin.
Same
Simple.
height. They move the same. Yeah. Dude, I think I think what makes it bad is if people know, and it's hard not to know now. That's it. Or, and here's the other side, if it's so hidden that there's no information about it at all.
Oh, so the build up and then the reveal. You know what? I agree with that one, and why I hate that is because I've seen it on every TV show known to man,
Yeah.
and he's your dad, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Feels like a soap opera thing.
yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
think that's the bad. And that's a lot of bad because it's really hard to build up something where you're showing just enough that it's interesting, but then us who are you and us and you all are so well versed in digesting stories. If this was 1600, you would be like, there was that one story where the bad guy was the father or the sister or the brother or the twin, and then you'd hear another one and you'd go, whoa, just those two stories do it because you don't get to digest as much content of fiction, of story,
yep,
right?
yep,
But
yep.
because we digest so much of it, that's an easy one for people to do. And we're all looking out for it in a sense when there's a hidden character in a mask. Who are they? They know how to do backflips and shoot lasers from their eyes and ultra punch through metal. And our person's a farm girl who's just trying to learn stuff, but she's special too. But why do they both have the dual force? You know what I mean? Like,
They're related.
oh no, yeah. So I always think like that's bad if you can read or watch or hear five, six, 25% of a story, and like you said, you go, dude, those two are related. And
Yeah,
and then it's bad if you can watch 99% of the show or the read 99% of the book and you get to the end and they just pull off the mask and you go, they're related?
yeah.
Like, that's
Or you
not
don't care,
that's why you don't care. Yeah.
or like let's say so. If this character is like, I don't know, it's all just been beaten to like a dead horse, so almost nothing will work at this point. But like if it sometimes they do that reveal and they're like, isn't that crazy? I'm like, I don't care because you haven't like this character has no trauma related to their mom. This
Right.
character you've never mentioned their backstory. They have nothing like that makes a parent reveal important. And so when it happens, the writer's like crazy, right? And I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah.
Or they die or something. You're like, I don't feel anything.
Didn't
I
care.
feel nothing. It's not because I'm soulless. It's because you didn't set it up.
You didn't give us no soul to care about. I think that ties into the good version of it for in now. Only in right now I call this the good version
Okay.
because there's always a good version of doing this. And I think you set it up to where it's obvious to everybody, but maybe one character doesn't know, and they find out quickly, but it doesn't matter. Like, oh, let's pretend that, they're two sisters and one of them's the Dark Lord's, it's a Darth Vader person, right? And they're terrorizing everything, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that person, they got a family, but they turned their back on everything they knew. They were taken as a child, and they actually believe in what they're doing. They like what they're doing. We all know she's Jasmine Garcia, you know. Everybody knows Sheila Garcia. That's your sister. And they go, Sheila Garcia's like, I've never left my town. I have a sister. And they're like, your town doesn't talk about it. But yeah, we're out of here. That's why nobody talks about it here. But then, she's on her hero's journey. Instantly, she steps out of her small bubble, understand why she doesn't know. Parents are dead. No one talks about it because they're just a group of 20 people, sure. And then everybody knows it's not about figuring that out. They're like, Sheila, she doesn't care. You know what I mean? We are just
Yeah.
letting you know that's your sister. And then Sheila, this goes to the trope works when it goes to for a reason. Now Sheila's gonna meet the bad guy and try to at a dead last ditch effort say, "But I'm your sister," and she'll go, "I've known where you were, and I don't care." And then you go, "This is a bad person," and you can
Yeah.
lock that in.
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
would be the
that's
whole
interesting
point.
because you're using it to like again, you're using so in that scenario, like for her to still, kill her sister and not care. Well, that establishes her character, which uses that device for significant impact. And I liked what you said as well. And what I was thinking was like if it's a story about sisters or brothers or reconciliation or figuring out like when they've been gone how to, like if the heart of the story is family dynamics related,
Yeah.
it can be a really good drama. Like so many dramas, nothing happens. Like it's
Yeah.
just like two estranged brothers, and but they figure out how to. They get thrown out in the wilderness together. And they figure out how, like be brothers again. They like fix their relationship, but they had to fix this trauma from back then. That
Right.
can be a whole great story. And so, like, if you introduce the family member with the intent to unpack that kind of thing, that can like that can really work. So
Yeah.
I guess it feels cheap if it's just like in there for no reason, or if it's a cheap sell to just like get a rise out of me. It's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
All right,
And
bro,
that
check this
reminds
out.
me of